The art of questioning. Mastering the Socratic method. Want to sharpen your thinking and uncover hidden truths in any conversation? In the next 15 minutes, we're unlocking the Socratic method, philosophy's secret weapon for questioning everything and finding clarity. Welcome to episode 9 of our 10-part Philosophy Basics series, where we're diving into the art of asking powerful questions. If you've been with us, you've explored what philosophy is, its core branches, critical thinking, the philosophy-science connection, logic and argumentation, the history of philosophy, ethics and metaphysics. Today, we're learning the Socratic method, a timeless technique from Socrates himself to challenge assumptions, spark insight, and think like a philosopher. Get ready to transform how you think and talk. Let's jump in. So, what is the Socratic method? At its heart, it's a way of seeking truth through relentless, open-ended questioning. Named after the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, it's less about giving answers and more about asking the right questions to uncover what people really believe, and whether those beliefs hold up. Imagine a conversation where, instead of arguing or lecturing, you guide someone to examine their own ideas by asking, why? Or, what do you mean? Until they reach clarity, or realize they don't know as much as they thought. That's the Socratic method. A dialogue that digs deep, exposing contradictions, refining ideas, and getting closer to truth. Why does the Socratic method matter? Because it's not just for ancient philosophers, it's a practical skill for everyday life. Whether you're debating with a friend, solving a problem at work, or trying to understand your own beliefs, this method helps you think critically, listen actively, and communicate with precision. It's like a mental workout that strengthens your ability to reason, empathize, and cut through confusion. In a world full of snap judgments and shallow arguments, the Socratic method is your tool to slow down, dig deeper, and find real understanding. Let's break down how the Socratic method works. It starts with a claim or belief, something someone says they know, like justice is fairness, or this policy is the best solution. The questioner, playing the Socratic role, doesn't attack or agree but asks open-ended questions to explore the claim. What do you mean by fairness? Can you give an example? Does that always hold true? The goal is to test the claim's foundation, looking for clarity, consistency, or contradictions. Through this dialogue, the person either refines their idea or discovers flaws they hadn't seen. Socrates, who lived in Athens around the 5th century BCE, was the master of this approach. He didn't write books or give lectures. Instead, he wandered the streets, engaging people in conversations about big ideas like justice, virtue, or knowledge. His student Plato captured these dialogues in works like the Apology and the Republic. Socrates believed most people hold unexamined beliefs, and his questions exposed gaps or contradictions, pushing them toward wisdom. He famously said, "I know that I know nothing," emphasizing humility and the need to question everything. Let's see the Socratic method in action with a simple example. Imagine your friend says, social media is bad for society. You could argue back, but a Socratic approach would look like this. What do you mean by bad? They might say, it makes people anxious. You ask, does it make everyone anxious or just some people? They clarify, well, some studies show it increases anxiety in teens. You probe further. Are there cases where social media reduces anxiety, like connecting people? Through questions, you help them refine their claim. Maybe social media's impact depends on how it's used, or they realize their original statement was too broad. Either way, the dialogue sharpens both your understandings. The Socratic method has key features that make it powerful. First, it's collaborative, not confrontational. Unlike a debate where you're trying to win, this method builds a shared journey toward truth. Second, it's open-ended. There's no preset answer. The questions guide the process, but the outcome depends on the dialogue. Third, it's reflective, forcing you to examine your assumptions. Finally, it's humbling. Socrates used it to show that even confident experts often don't fully understand their own beliefs, encouraging intellectual modesty. Let's explore the steps of the Socratic method more formally. Step 1. Identify a claim or question. This could be a statement like, honesty is always the best policy, or a topic like, what is courage? Step 2. Ask for clarification. Questions like, What do you mean by honesty? Or can you define courage? Ensure you're on the same page. Step 3. Test the claim with examples or counterexamples. Is honesty best if it hurts someone unnecessarily? Or is a reckless act courageous? Step 4. Look for consistency. Ask, does your definition hold in all cases, or are there exceptions? Step 5. Refine or revise. If contradictions emerge, ask, how would you adjust your view? The process loops, with each question digging deeper. This method shines in real-world scenarios. Imagine you're in a team meeting, and a colleague insists, we should launch this product now. Instead of disagreeing, you ask, what makes now the best time? They might say, the market is ready. You probe, what data shows the market is ready? Or could waiting improve the product? Your questions don't just challenge. They help the team clarify goals, spot risks, and make better decisions. The Socratic method turns heated arguments into constructive discussions. Historically, Socrates used this method to challenge Athens' status quo. In Plato's Euthyphro, Socrates meets a man claiming to know what piety is. Socrates asks, what is piety? Euthyphro gives a definition like piety is what the gods love. Socrates probes, do the gods always agree on what they love? And is something pious because the gods love it, or do they love it because it's pious? Through questions, Euthyphro's confidence crumbles, revealing his definition's flaws. This wasn't to humiliate, but to push for deeper understanding, a hallmark of Socratic questioning. The Socratic method's impact goes beyond Socrates. His student Plato used it to develop his own ideas, like the theory of forms, while Aristotle adapted it into systematic logic. In the medieval period, thinkers like Thomas Aquinas used Socratic-style questioning to reconcile faith and reason. During the Enlightenment, philosophers like John Locke and Immanuel Kant built on its spirit of inquiry to challenge dogma. Today, the method thrives in classrooms, law schools, and therapy, where it's used to teach critical thinking, argue cases, or explore personal beliefs. Let's apply the Socratic method to modern issues. Take a hot-button topic like, should we ban plastic straws? Instead of taking sides, you ask, why are plastic straws a problem? Someone might say, they harm marine life. You follow up, how significant is their impact compared to other plastics? Or would a ban solve the problem, or are there other solutions? These questions don't just clarify. They reveal assumptions, like whether the ban is practical or if it's more symbolic. The method helps you navigate complex issues without getting stuck in emotional debates. Another example, personal beliefs. Suppose you believe hard work always pays off. Try Socratic questioning on yourself. What do I mean by pays off? Maybe it's financial success. Does hard work always lead to money, or are there exceptions? You might think of cases where luck or privilege mattered more. If exceptions exist, is my belief too absolute? This self-dialogue refines your view. Maybe hard work increases your chances, but isn't a guarantee. The Socratic method is as powerful for self-reflection as it is for conversation. The method also has practical benefits in education. In Socratic seminars, students discuss texts by asking questions, not reciting answers. For example, reading To Kill a Mockingbird, a student might ask, what does justice mean in this story? Others respond, and the teacher guides with more questions. Does justice depend on the law or something deeper? This fosters critical thinking, active listening, and respect for diverse views, skills that translate to any career or relationship. In law, the Socratic method is a cornerstone. Law professors grill students with questions like, why does this case set a precedent? Or what if the facts were different? This trains students to think on their feet, anticipate objections, and build airtight arguments. It's not about memorizing laws but understanding their principles, much like Socrates probed moral concepts. If you've ever watched a courtroom drama, you've seen echoes of this method in cross-examinations that unravel weak claims. The Socratic method even applies to science. Scientists question assumptions to test hypotheses. For example, Einstein's theory of relativity began with questions like, what if time isn't absolute? This Socratic spirit of inquiry drives discovery, showing how philosophy and science share a common root. In everyday life, you can use it to troubleshoot problems. Say, a project failing at work. Ask, what's the core issue? Are we assuming something that's not true? What happens if we try a different approach? These questions uncover solutions you might miss in a rush to act. Let's address a common objection. Doesn't the Socratic method just make people feel attacked or confused? If you keep asking why, it can seem aggressive or pointless, especially if someone gets defensive. Socrates himself faced this. His questioning got him accused of corrupting Athens' youth, leading to his death sentence in 399 BCE. But the method isn't about tearing people down. Done well, it's respectful and curious, creating a safe space for exploration. The key is tone. Ask with genuine interest, not judgment, and listen to understand, not to win. Another objection. Isn't it inefficient? In a fast-paced world, why spend time questioning when we need answers now? The Socratic method takes patience, but it's worth it. Quick answers often hide flawed assumptions, leading to bad decisions. By slowing down to question, you build stronger ideas, whether you're solving a personal dilemma or designing a policy. It's like sharpening a tool before cutting. Time up front saves effort later. The Socratic method also evolves with context. In therapy, it's used to help clients explore emotions or beliefs. A therapist might ask, why do you feel this way? Or what would change if you saw it differently? This helps uncover root causes, not just symptoms. In business, leaders use it to foster innovation, asking teams, what are we overlooking? Or why do we assume this will work? These questions spark creativity and catch blind spots. Let's dig into the philosophy behind the method. Socrates believed true knowledge comes from within. You don't teach someone by giving answers but by helping them discover what they already know or need to learn. This idea, called the theory of recollection in Plato's dialogues, suggests our souls have latent knowledge from a pre-physical existence. While we might not buy the mystical angle today, the insight holds. Questioning unlocks insights we didn't realize we had, like a sculptor chiseling a way to reveal a statue. The method also ties to epistemology, the study of knowledge. Socrates used it to test claims of knowledge, asking, how do you know that? This connects to our next episode, where we'll explore epistemology directly. For now, know that the Socratic method is a bridge between believing and knowing, helping you separate justified beliefs from mere opinions. It's a tool for intellectual honesty, ensuring your ideas stand up to scrutiny. Let's try a historical example. In Plato's Meno, Socrates questions a young man about virtue. Can virtue be taught? Meno offers definitions, but Socrates asks, what is virtue itself? Each answer leads to more questions, revealing Meno's assumptions don't hold. Eventually, they conclude virtue might come from divine inspiration, not just teaching. The dialogue doesn't solve the puzzle, but it clarifies the problem, a Socratic victory. This shows how the method prioritizes understanding over final answers. The Socratic method isn't perfect. It can stall if someone refuses to engage or if questions become repetitive. Socrates himself sometimes pushed too far, frustrating his interlocutors. Modern users adapt it with balance, knowing when to question and when to offer insights. It's also less effective in contexts needing quick consensus, like emergencies. But for deep issues, ethics, politics, personal growth, it's unmatched in fostering clarity and collaboration. Let's make it practical. Imagine a family disagreement about screen time for kids. Instead of arguing, try Socratic questions. Why do we think screens are harmful? What's the evidence? Are there ways to use screens that aren't harmful? These questions shift the focus from emotions to reasons, helping everyone clarify their views and find common ground. You can even use it alone. Journal questions like, why do I believe this? To unpack your own assumptions. Here's another scenario. Navigating misinformation. You see a claim online, like this diet cures all diseases. Socratic questions help you evaluate it. What evidence supports this? Who's making the claim and why? Are there counterexamples? This method cuts through hype, training you to think critically about what you read or hear. In a world of clickbait and fake news, that's a superpower. The Socratic method also builds empathy. By asking questions and listening, you understand others' perspectives, even if you disagree. This is vital in polarized times. Instead of shouting past each other, you ask, "Why do you feel this way?" Or "What would change your mind?" These questions don't just clarify, they show respect, fostering dialogue over division. Socrates would approve. He saw philosophy as a shared pursuit of truth, not a solo victory. Let's explore its limits. The method assumes people are willing to reason, but not everyone is. In Socrates' time, some Athenians saw his questions as threats, not invitations. Today you might face similar resistance if someone's tied to dogma or emotion. The fix? Adapt the method with patience and tact. Start with common ground like "We both want what's fair. Can we explore what that means?" This keeps the conversation open without alienating anyone. Another limit: it's not a cure-all. Some questions, like those about personal taste or empirical facts, don't need Socratic probing. Asking, "Why do you like pizza?" might annoy someone. It's just a preference. And for complex issues like climate change, questioning alone won't replace data or action. The method works best for conceptual or ethical problems, where clarity and reasoning matter most. The Socratic method also connects to other philosophical tools. It pairs with logic, Episode 5. By testing arguments' validity, does the reasoning hold? It complements ethics, Episode 7. By clarifying moral concepts like what is justice? And it sets up epistemology, Episode 10. By asking how we justify beliefs. Together, these tools make you a philosophical powerhouse, ready to tackle any question with rigor and curiosity. Let's try a quick exercise. Pick a belief you hold, say, "People should be kind." Now ask Socratic questions. What does kindness mean? Are there times kindness causes harm? Why is kindness important? Write down your answers and see how your view evolves. This exercise trains you to think deeply, even without a partner. Share your results in the comments. I'd love to see what you discover. Here's a modern example. In 2020, philosopher Peter Singer used Socratic-style questioning to debate global poverty. He asked, "Why do we prioritize local charities over global ones? If a life saved abroad is as valuable as one nearby, shouldn't we act accordingly?" His questions challenged audiences to rethink moral obligations, showing the method's power to shift perspectives on real issues. Like Socrates, Singer didn't dictate answers, he sparked reflection. The Socratic method also inspires creativity. By questioning assumptions, you uncover new possibilities. In design thinking, innovators ask, "Why do we do it this way?" Or "What if we tried the opposite?" This Socratic approach led to breakthroughs like ride-sharing apps, which question traditional taxi models. In your life, try asking "What if?" to spark fresh ideas, whether you're solving a problem or planning a project. Let's address its cultural impact. The Socratic method shaped Western education, from medieval universities to modern seminars. It's also universal. Eastern philosophies like Confucianism and Buddhism use questioning to explore truth, though in different styles. Confucius asked students to reflect on virtue, much like Socrates, while Zen koans pose paradoxical questions to transcend logic. This shows the method's flexibility across cultures and eras. In technology, the Socratic method informs AI ethics. Developers ask, what does it mean for AI to be fair? How do we define bias? These questions mirror Socratic probes, ensuring tech aligns with human values. As AI grows, the method will keep guiding us through uncharted moral territory, proving its timeless relevance. Here's a challenge. Over the next week, use the Socratic method in one conversation. Pick a topic, politics, ethics, even a TV show, and ask open-ended questions. What makes you say that? Can you give an example? Notice how it changes the dialogue. Share your experience in the comments. Did it lead to clarity, tension, or something else? I'm excited to hear. As we wrap up, think about this. The Socratic method is philosophy's gift for a noisy world. It teaches you to question with curiosity, listen with empathy, and think with clarity. It's not about having all the answers but asking better questions to live wiser. In our final episode, we'll explore epistemology, diving into how we know what we know. If you're pumped, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Drop a comment. What's one question you'd ask Socrates if you could? Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in episode 10.